From beautiful northern Vancouver Island, it's John Lovelace's Wings Over Canada.
Aviators, private pilots, aficionados of airplanes, they always have a list of things that they want to do. Air Venture at Oshkosh, Sun and Fun in Florida, the Smithsonian, the National Aerospace Museum in Ottawa. Well, today we're going to be adding one to your list. You're all going to want to come and see the Reynolds-Alberta Museum in Wetaskawin, Alberta. There's artifacts here that you won't find anywhere else. It's a collection that is world class, and it was all started by one man, Stan Reynolds, and we can't wait for you to see it today. So as soon as we get in the door, right above the desk is an airplane. It's a 1918 Curtiss Canuck. This is the very first commercial aircraft in Alberta. It was bought by an individual, donated to the city of Edmonton, and then it was leased back to Walt May and his brother to deliver Edmonton journals all over the province. The seeds of inspiration for what ended up being this amazing museum is right above my head. Ted Reynolds, the father of Stan, built this home-built aircraft in 1919. It was made from found materials, designed by himself. It's got a Ford Model T engine to power it, and he first flew it in 1919 and flew it occasionally until 1922. Well, I promised you some wacky machines, and this one really takes the cake. It's a one-off built by a fellow who figured it would be easier to walk through Muskeg with a tractor than try to roll over it. We're going across the way to the aircraft exhibit at the Reynolds-Alberta Museum to check out what they've got there. This is the main aircraft exhibition hall at the Reynolds-Alberta Museum. We're not going to show you the whole thing. You have to come here and see it for yourself. But we are going to show you a few pieces that have real historical significance in this area. This aircraft right here is an Avro Avian. Now this is a huge piece of history in Alberta. There was a story that paralleled none. Back in the day, Walt May and a partner took some diphtheria antitoxin to Fort Vermilion because there was an outbreak. It was a story of freezing temperatures, minus 40 below, but they had to keep the toxin warm. So it was wrapped in blankets and charcoal heaters. When they returned and they were triumphant, only one person died. There was thousands of people to greet them. There was a parade and they were national heroes. So this is a 1936 de Havilland Hornet moth, and it's only one of two existing examples in the entire world. Consolidated Mining and Smelting used this aircraft exclusively through its lifetime in Western Canada exploring for the company. It operated on wheels, floats, and skis, and it's in original condition. It's really quite a great example. This is a 1946 Belenka Senior Skyrocket, and this is unique to the area because it was actually built here. 13 of these were built in Edmonton, and this is the only one in the entire world that's assembled for display. This is a real showstopper airplane. This is the famous Hawker Hurricane. This particular one was built in Fort William, Ontario at the Canadian Car and Foundry. It's also powered by the famous V12 Merlin engine. And this one has real local historical significance because Stan Reynolds bought this airplane in a farmer's field for $50. Now it's completely priceless. He put many thousands of dollars into it, restoring it to flyable condition. It hasn't flown, it's way too valuable for that, but it's just an amazing story that he was able to pick it up and preserve it because there's so few of them left in the world, and it's so significant the contribution it made during the Second World War. This aircraft hanging right here is a replica of a Silver Dart. And the Silver Dart was the very first heavier-than-air powered aircraft to fly in Canada in 1909. Well, coming up in 2009, Wings Over Canada is going to be leading an expedition of 100 aircraft back to the birthplace of flight in Canada, Quebec, Nova Scotia. So this is a shared space. We've got aircraft from the Reynolds-Alberta Museum, but all the way around the outside and upstairs, there's panels commemorating men, women, and groups that have made contribution to the aviation history in Canada. It's well worth a visit. Everybody's here. It's incredible. Except for me and John Lovelace. So first we took you to the main gallery and we showed you a few artifacts in the entrance to the museum. Then we came over here to the aircraft exhibit in Canada's Aviation Hall of Fame. But next, we're going over here. This is the private storage area where the public isn't allowed. And there's hundreds of artifacts in there that are just amazing. And we're going to find the one that speaks to the heart of Wings Over Canada, the most interesting piece we can find.
Yeah, we call it the who knew scenario. The amount of time people have come in and gone, who knew? Who knew? You know?
Had no idea.
We didn't know.
DVD copies of this show and all 172 episodes of the Wings Over Canada series are available, singly or in box sets at wingsovercanada.ca, or give us a call toll-free at 1-866-909-4647.